Not all Detroit suburbs are created equal. Some will definitely build your wealth, but others are going to leave you wondering why your home is still worth exactly the same as it was 5 years ago. Now, I've helped hundreds of families move to, from, and around Metro Detroit, and I've seen firsthand which suburbs are growing fast and which suburbs are just stuck and kind of suck. So today I'm ranking them D through A based on one thing that actually matters: how much the home's values have actually gone up. Because if you're planning to buy or already own in the wrong spot, this could cost you tens of thousands of dollars over time. And make sure to watch to the end, because I've got a few bonus areas that most people overlook, but these could be some of the best long-term bets. And I'm not just reading off a list. I'm a licensed real estate agent here who works a lot of these neighborhoods daily. I know what sells, what doesn't, and where people are actually building equity. Not sweat equity, like legit equity, without even doing anything. They just buy the house, let it sit, it just keeps going on up. So if you do want to make a move in the next 3 days or 3 years, absolutely reach out to me. There's a link in the description. I would love to be your real estate agent. All right, so this list is based on median home values over 5 years, the appreciation over 5 years, and the demand trends pulled from real world stats, not just some estimates. And we're gonna start at the very bottom of the barrel. Tier D. Now, all of these have barely moved in the past 5 years. So if you bought there 5 years ago, there's a good chance your house is worth exactly the same amount. That's not good. First one, Highland Park, Michigan. Median price here is $45,000. And again, over the past 5 years, flatlined. No appreciation. The commute to Detroit is pretty good, so only about 15 or 20 minutes away. So if you just wanted to buy a place and you just don't care about any of that stuff and you want to spend a very little amount of money, Highland Park probably fit. Next place on our list, River Rouge, Michigan. Median price here is about $56,000. A lot of older houses there. And over the past 5 years, just a little tiny bit. It's just moved just a little tiny bit, not much at all. Like digga. Commute, again, very reasonable, about 16 minutes to downtown Detroit. So if you just needed a place quick and you just had $50,000, $60,000 in cash and you just wanted to buy a place and you don't care what it's going to be worth in the future, maybe that's your spot. So both of those super low price points, and some investors look at that and they see a lot of opportunity, but in terms of appreciation, you're rolling the dice here. It would be good if you just bought one of these and you just held it as a rental. That would be fine, make a little passive income on it, but you're not gonna buy one of these for appreciation. Next up, let's talk about Tier C. Now, these are slow climbers. So a little bit of growth, but then lagging behind the market a little bit. First one in Tier C, Romulus. Median price point here in Romulus is $130,000. Not bad at all. That's lower than the average in Michigan. And over the past 5 years, prices have gone up right around 6%. So better than 5 or flatline. Commute to downtown Detroit is gonna be 20 to 25 minutes. So again, not very far. So a lot of times if people are looking for a budget place to live, this fits the bill. Next up on our list, Lincoln Park. Not the band, there is a city in Michigan. It's a Detroit suburb called Lincoln Park. Got a 15-year-old at home who's now obsessed with Lincoln Park. Not the city, the band. Median price point here in Lincoln Park is $117,000, so cheaper than the last one. But over the past 5 years, prices have gone up about 7.2%, so a little bit better than old Romulus. Commute to downtown Detroit is going to be about 15 to 20 minutes. So again, it doesn't take long to get there. So you don't want to pay a lot of money, a little bit of appreciation. These all make great rentals too. So if you're looking for a rental house, maybe just grab one of these. Next up on our list is E-Course. Of course, E-Course. Median price point here is about $130,000. But you know, whenever I say these, they can go up and down. This is just sort of the average. And over the past 5 years, single digits, super low, like 5. Commute to downtown Detroit, 20 to 25 minutes. So just like the other ones, not super far away, not a lot of money to get in here, not a ton of appreciation. That's probably why they're listed here in the C range. None of these are bad areas, but if you're buying purely for appreciation, so if you're just buying to hold real estate, hoping that it's going to be worth a ton of money in 5 or 10 years, if that's part of your life plan, maybe don't move here. There's going to be stronger places. They're on this list. Up next is Tier B. Now, these are steady builders. These are constant appreciation and growing demand. So these are places that you can buy and you know for sure that your home is going to be worth more as long as you take care of it. Don't just let it fall apart and then hope that it's worth more in the future. That's a bad plan. That's a bad plan for any of these. First one on our list is Hazel Park, Michigan. So I'm Hazel Eyes, so Kind of like this. Price range here about $150,000 to $275,000. So you're gonna find a lot of houses in that range. And over the past 5 years, prices have gone up about 10 to 12%, which is great, especially compared to the other ones. Commute a little bit further, 28 minutes-ish to downtown Detroit. Not super far, also not super close. But again, if you buy a place here, you wanna rent it out, or just keep it for 5 years and then move up to a bigger and better place, Hazel Park might be a great place for you. 12% returns, not bad. Next up in this tier is Ferndale, Michigan. I know I talk a lot about Ferndale on this channel. If you want to watch the video, you can check it out on my channel after you're done watching all this. Price range here is about $175,000 to $350,000. That's a reasonable range. You got a really cool downtown, a lot of like older bungalows, aluminum sided bungalows, sidewalk streets, all the things. And the 5-year appreciation here, 10 to 15%. So if you could buy a house 5 years from now, it's worth 15% more. That's awesome, right? Like, who wouldn't want that? Commute to downtown Detroit, about 25 minutes. Not bad, but it really depends on how badly congested Woodward is if you're taking Woodward down, because like sometimes like that's a big deal, right? Especially if you're from around here, you get it. Ferndale's probably one of my favorites in this zone. Next up in this tier is Livonia, Michigan, AKA L-Town. That's what a lot of the locals call it, or they did. I don't know if they still do, but for a really long time, that's what they called it. Median price in L-Town is about $305,000, which is wild because when I got started selling real estate about 13 years ago, average price in Livonia was like $150,000. Prices just keep going up. Over the past 5 years, prices have gone up about 8% per year on average. That's awesome. And the commute to downtown Detroit is only about 25 minutes. I should probably note that the commute to downtown Detroit is just about the same as it is to Canada. So if you just wanted to go from any of these places to Canada, you can do that. Some people love doing that. Now, what's great about Livonia, it's not as close as somewhere like Ferndale, but it's really close to the freeway. So you can just jump right on 96 and sort of get everywhere. So if you're not trying to commute to downtown Detroit, but you need to get to other areas, you need to get to Plymouth, Novi, Northville, Farmington Hills, wherever you need to get, Livonia is like the perfect hub of the wheel. It just spiders out to everywhere pretty quickly because the freeway's right there. Next up in the B tier is Farmington Hills, Michigan. So this is sort of like Livonia plus. Perfect way to describe it. The price range here, about $300,000 to $500,000. You get a really big house for about $500,000 to $600,000, like a 3,000 square foot house plus, which is really cool. Lots of nature, lots of trails, lots of everything going on, but there's not a lot of sidewalks here, unless you live by downtown Farmington, which is different than Farmington Hills. When I say that it's like Livonia plus, it's a nice area and it's close to everything. About a half hour, you can get anywhere. You can get to downtown Detroit, you can get to Ann Arbor, wherever you need to be, you can get there from Farmington Hills reasonably fast. Over the past 5 years, the prices here have gone up 9 to 14%. That's awesome. So if you bought a house here, it was a really good bet. Now, some of the other ones, again, we're going to talk about them in just a second. The A tier list, those have risen even more, but you have a lower price point here. So it's easier to get in and then just build equity over time. They're not the trendiest areas, but the gains are real. So, 14% over the past 5 years. That's awesome. You are winning. Now for the A tier suburbs of Detroit. First things first, last ones last, I don't know. Troy, Michigan. Everybody in the world talks about Troy. If you're from Metro Detroit, you know about Troy. It's funny, Troy to me is almost like a giant version of Livonia. We just talked about Livonia, but that's what it reminds me of whenever I'm there. It doesn't have a downtown or anything like that, but it's just a lot of houses and a wide price range for the houses. The prices go anywhere from $450,000 to $650,000 plus, and people move here because of a whole bunch of things. Location's great, schools are amazing, top 10 school districts in the state of Michigan. Troy's gonna be on that list every time. And over the past 5 years, the prices here have gone up anywhere from 12 to 18%. 18%! Oh, it's nuts. And the commute to downtown Detroit, super simple. 25 minutes to downtown Detroit. It is going to be a little bit further away from DTW, which is the airport. So if you needed to get to the airport all the time, maybe that wouldn't be the best bet for you, but it's not. If you're going there every day, then I guess it becomes a problem. But if it's not an everyday occurrence, this is a great spot. Next one in the A tier is Royal Oak, Michigan. one of my favorite suburbs in Metro Detroit. It's got everything going for it. One of the best downtowns around, sidewalk streets, wide range of houses. You've got older houses, brand new houses, big houses, small houses, you name it, they've got it. Tons of parks, all the things. And over the past 5 years, prices have risen here 12 to 15%. So maybe not 18%, but 12 to 15% pretty consistently awesome. Commute to downtown Detroit is only 20 minutes. Quick shot down Woodward, and you're there. Don't get mad at me about traffic. The traffic here is not as bad as California or DC or anywhere like that. So maybe you're 30 minutes in the car, maybe 40 minutes in the car. Sorry. Next one on our list, Northville, Michigan. My favorite of all the vills. Prices here, $450 to $700, but in all reality, Northville gets really pricey. So if maybe you want to spend over $1 million, I help a lot of people move to Northville, and that's about what they're spending, 900 million plus. There's a lot of houses like that. Big estate style homes, newer construction. You've got a really cool downtown. And so it has all the things. It's close to the freeway, so you can get sort of everywhere. Great schools, big houses. Oh man, it's like the dream area. And over the past 5 years, prices have risen 14 to 16%. So that's not a really wide range. 14 to 16, still good gains. And the commute, a little bit longer, 40 minutes, but it's under an hour. So you can get to downtown Detroit, you can get to Dearborn. Ann Arbor's really close, so you can just go to Ann Arbor too. So a lot of doctors like to move here because it's an easy commute. And the homes are so nice. There was a lot of newer construction, big stuff. Next up in our A tier, Birmingham, Michigan. Now, they say the prices are 500 to 800,000, but really Birmingham and Northville both are, they lead the pack on as far as like high home sale prices go. A bunch of houses that are $1 million, $2 million, $3 million, $4 million in Birmingham. If you are looking for a walkable city to live in where it looks like your neighbors are cutting their grass with scissors, Birmingham, because it's just everybody's home is beautiful. You don't have big yards. A lot of times people will just have like a little patch of AstroTurf in their backyard, but there are a ton of parks. So if you're cool with just relying on sidewalks and parks, Birmingham. Over the past 5 years, prices here have risen 15 to 18%. So again, really good gains, and the commute's only 25 to 30 minutes. So again, straight down Woodward. So Birmingham, Royal Oak, Ferndale, all have been in this list so far, and they're all along Woodward. So along the Woodward corridor. You just jump on Woodward and you head on down to downtown Detroit. Next up in the A tier, Bloomfield Hills. This is sort of like a bonus, Franklin, Michigan. Now, typically I wouldn't clump two places together, but if you've ever heard me talk about Franklin on this channel before, it's just so small. Dan Gilbert, the billionaire, lives there, which is like the claim to fame. They also have the Franklin Cider Mill, which happens to not actually be in Franklin, which I think is weird, but it's expensive to live here. So these are two places that I just sort of was like, oh, well, maybe we'll just smush them together, because prices there, $750 to $2 million plus, all over the place. You want to spend a few $1 million? Franklin, Bloomfield Hills. You'll be happy there for sure. Over the past 5 years, these places have rose about 10 to 14% pretty consistently. So it's a good bet to buy in either one of these areas. And the commute, only about 35 minutes. So it's a little harder if you're in Franklin because it's a little more tucked away. You really need to be working with somebody who's watching out for properties in Franklin if you're interested in one. Absolutely. Reach out to me. Remember, link is in the description. If you bought in any one of the A tier cities over the past 5 years, you are probably sitting on a boatload of equity cash, like Scrooge McDuck style, but like, not in like a big vault. It would just be equity in your house. All right, now for my bonus picks. I know you've been waiting for my bonus picks. Brighton. Now this one would actually fall into the B tier, and the appreciation has been about 10 to 12% pretty consistently. And people love a lot of things about Brighton. Really cool downtown. I actually talked about it in my downtown video there. The one problem is it's further away from Detroit. So some people see that as a pro or a con. Like they're like, yeah, get me away from Detroit. All right, well, there you go. 45 minutes, 55 minutes, depending on traffic to downtown Detroit. You're gonna have like big lots, newer houses, a lot of things. So longer commute, but you get a whole bunch of stuff. You get trails, lakes, and pretty strong appreciation for the price because it's not a ton to move in there. You can buy a house for $400,000 all the way up to $700,000 plus. So there's a wide range there. And the next bonus one, we've got Detroit, Michigan. Now technically this would fall into the C tier, but the weird thing about Detroit is the median price is really all over the map. They say $118,000. It's crazy. You can buy a house for $20, maybe not 20, but pretty cheap, all the way up to over $1 million, all over the place. Really depends on what neighborhoods you want to be. If you want to be in downtown, you want to be in midtown, you want to be in Corktown, well, the towns, downtown. But the 5-year appreciation is completely flat. Like if you look out in the city, and some are 5 to 10%. So you have to be working with somebody who knows what to look for and where to look. As far as a commute, you're already in the city. So I guess it depends on where you need to go. If you need to go to Dearborn, you're working for Ford, or you need to go to one of the hospitals. A lot of people work for the hospitals, or if you need to get over to Ann Arbor. I'm not sure I would live downtown if I needed to get to Ann Arbor, but I guess you could. It would just take you a little bit longer to get there. Detroit's it was a tough one to rank or figure out where it should be. It's just so inconsistent. So what do you think about this list? Are there any places I missed or that you're curious about? Let me know in the comments. I'll respond and I'll tell you what I think about them and where I think they should fall. And if you're still looking for a place to call home, check out this playlist here, and I'll see you there.